If you want to get into auto detailing and you're thinking about detailing a car for the first time, you probably came across these guys right here. Detailing brushes. They're cheap. Well, some are cheap, some are like 5 times the price, some are like 50 bucks, some are 10. The prices are all over the place. But here's the deal. If you've ever detailed the inside of your car without them, you probably noticed some leftover dust. Probably around buttons, switches, and in the little cracks and crevices in your dash and center console. Without a brush, it's almost impossible to get all that stuff out. So if you haven't got a pack of these yet, go to the description of this video, click the link, and get yourself a pack. There's so many benefits to having interior detailing brushes. And honestly, you don't need many. Like, I could take this brush right here. I could take this with the microfiber. I can go around, clean the whole interior, depending on the vehicle, right? I'm talking about a maintenance detail. So when you're just getting started, you probably already have microfiber towels. If you don't have microfiber towels and you're looking for a good deal, just head over to Walmart and get a pack of the microfibers there. They sell some good ones for cheap because honestly, it's like impossible to detail without them. So air vents and dashboard crevices. If you've watched any kind of detailing content on YouTube or TikTok, you probably noticed the guys going around with the brush and the vacuum. And they kind of vacuum as they brush. This way the dust doesn't recirculate. So that's a tip, especially when you're doing air vents. You don't want to push dust in there, so as soon as the customer turns the car on, everything blows at them, right? You don't want it to recirculate in the car. You want to get that stuff out. And that is why they do the brush and the vacuum. Now you can brush and use a microfiber as well. A microfiber will pick it up. So you don't have to have the vacuum at the same time. You don't have to do that. And my main tip for cleaning air vents and getting in any kind of cracks, crevices, is spray the cleaner on the tip of the brush. Put some on the brush. Don't soak it. Don't spray all over the surfaces because you get overspray everywhere. You don't want the stuff to sit long. So when you're cleaning, spray a little bit on here and then do your brushing. A lot of times I just go in dry on certain spots. I can go in dry and just get a little bit of dust, especially on a maintenance detail. But these are king when it comes to cleaning out air vents and getting in the cracks and crevices in the dashboard. Cup holders and door pockets. Now, cup holders are the worst. Sometimes they're filthy. They've had stuff spilled, drink spilled. They're just nasty. Sometimes there's junk, debris in there. You might have to use a degreaser in some situations, or just let some APC soak on there a little bit. All-purpose cleaner. If it's really bad, use some all-purpose cleaner, spray in there, let it sit, and then you can take your brush and you can work out all that dirt and grime. And then you might have to use a vacuum and a microfiber to get everything out. Now, some people go ahead, they use a drill brush, something like maybe like this or this. There's another type as well. I'll put it up on the screen. A drill brush is obviously a good way to get in there if it's really bad. And just do a low setting. You don't want to damage anything, scratch anything. Don't use a very stiff one either. Like the white one is usually soft. That's why I stick with the white drill brushes. But either way, you probably are going to need a brush of some sort to clean in the door pockets and in the cup holders. Now, piano black trim. This is that nice shiny trim on the inside of vehicles that if you just touch it the wrong way, it scratches. This stuff is nice when it's new, but man, it gets scratched up quick. It gets damaged quick. It's touchy. So if you have piano black trim in your car, just be careful. Use the softest brush you can. If you even need a brush, try to avoid it. Use some cleaner on the brush and just be very gentle. Very gentle. Use your softest, most cleanest brush. Most of the time I avoid it as much as I can unless I absolutely have to. But even then I use the softest microfiber. I mean, you got to be careful with that stuff because it damages easy. Like I always recommend get paint protection film or put a ceramic coating on there, but do something because it gets messed up quick. All right, leather seats and stitching. When you're dealing with leather, you have to be very careful. Typically, you're going to be using horse or boar's hair brushes when you're dealing with leather, or just go out and buy like a specific leather specific brush. They make those as well. But mainly I use it for getting in, like I use the small one here to get in the crevices and the stitching. And it's very minimal. Most of what I do is using a pad or a microfiber. But typically you're going to use a smaller brush just for the stitching and the smaller areas. Getting in the grooves, making sure all the dust is out, simple stuff. And in that case, a brush like this is just fine. Buttons, switches, and center console. There's no better tool, really. When you're dealing with the center console and all that, and the buttons and switches, unless you have a compressor capable of running a Tornador or a Vortex long, and you could really blow everything out, you're going to want to use brushes. And even then, I prefer just to use brushes for most jobs. So like a gentle brush, gentle, you're not scrubbing, you're not doing anything stupid or reckless, but you take the brush and you can get around all the buttons and stuff very easily. Now, when you're dealing with the center console, screens, navigation, you want to get around the edges, of course, but be careful spraying. You don't want to soak anything and leave chemicals on there. That's why very lightly, I use Optimum No Rinse, ONR. I use that on the brushes for most of my interior detailing. If it's very bad, you can use all-purpose cleaner or some other sort of interior detailer. But for the most part, that works just fine. I use Optimum No Rinse just because on screens, any type of surface, it doesn't leave a residue, it doesn't leave streaks, and it's more mild, so it doesn't damage anything. So that combined with this right here and a microfiber, I can go around the whole car pretty much and get 99% of everything done, other than the vacuuming, of course. So I mean, that's why I say right here, it's like the best 10 to 15 bucks you'll ever spend. 20. I wouldn't spend more than 20 unless it's a very high-end, nice brush, maybe for leather or something. But you can get a good pack of these for under 20 bucks. Drill brushes, you get kits about 20 bucks, some much cheaper. I like the drill brushes for carpet. To me, if you're going to clean carpet, stained carpet, filthy carpet, you don't have a high-end extractor. Even if you do, sometimes you need a brush to get in there and just get everything loose, get everything out so the vacuum can pick it up. So I mean, brushes are your best friend when it comes to detailing. And these simple ones right here that you've probably seen a million times, they're cheap at Walmart, they're cheap on Amazon, they're cheap everywhere. Some look identical and they're like triple the price, probably made in the same factory. I've seen comparisons and they're not all that different. Some are. So just be careful, check the reviews, make sure you're not buying trash. The one I linked to in the description is a good one. It's a really good option. I also put a link to drill brushes, which mine is, I'm about due for a new one. And real quick, when it comes to cleaning them, keeping them clean, which I haven't always done the best job at doing, but when you're done, you can soak them in all-purpose cleaner and then rinse them off real good. They're not, as long as you keep up on it, they're not hard to clean. They're really not hard to clean. You clean them in a sink, just bring them to your kitchen sink, hose them out outside, however you want to do it. They're not hard to clean. But keep them clean because you don't want to go, car to car, just moving filth around, right? Stuff does get trapped in there. So just be careful with that. Keep them clean. Same goes for your drill brushes. Keep them clean, which I did not do. Well, this is stained. Most of it's stained, but I should have cleaned it better. So if you want your stuff to last, that's on you. All right, so with that said, let's go over some quick tips for using detailing brushes. Number 1, spray on the brush, not on the surface. 2, use minimal moisture, so don't spray everywhere. Just use the minimal required and then wipe down immediately after. You do not want chemicals to sit in the car. 3, use gentle pressure and circular motions when brushing. 4, if you have a really filthy car, really dusty, mainly really dusty, and you don't want the dust floating around, use the vacuum technique. You got the brush and the vacuum going at once. And number 5, avoid paint. Unless you have a very soft brush, be careful with door jambs, around emblems on the car. You've probably seen videos of people cleaning around the emblems on the car, making it look all fancy. Just be careful with the brush you're using, right? Make sure it's a soft brush. Make sure it's a soft brush and make sure it's well lubricated. Well, you got a lot of soap on there. Just be careful when dealing with paint. And that's it. If you have any tips to share regarding detailing brushes, the best ones, maybe the best ones to buy, the best ones to use for a certain situation, maybe there's something I left out. I am not a pro. I just love to detail cars. I love to watch detailing content. That's what I like to do. During the day, I'm a full-time digital marketing expert. This is what I do. I build websites for people. I get them noticed. That's why I try to reach out to auto detailers, because it's kind of like the bridge between my day job and my main like interest, right? Like I love to detail cars. So that's why this channel is a little different than most, because I am just a regular guy that likes to do this. I've been doing it for about 5-6 years now. I'm not the best, but I try things, and if I see things that work, I recommend them. If I know things don't work, I will let you know. And I just try to keep it real. So if you got any value out of that, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.